I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's me or you, but you're frozen.
How it happens here. Oh, I'm like going in and out now. So I'm going to go out of the studio, come back. Brenda, I think that you're on. If you want to start talking, that would be great. And I will come back in. Oh,
Yeah,
wait, here we go. But I
I
still
think you're
can't hear
there.
anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything. Okay.
So I'm going to go out and come back in. You can speak to the people. Everybody, this is the beautiful Brenda Ring Wood. And I'll be right back. But Brenda's going to talk to you all.
Well, hello, hello, everybody. It's always a blessing to be on shows. And man, what can I say about Tracy Randolph? She's beautiful inside and out. She takes care of her body physically, mentally, spiritually. Who doesn't want to be Tracy? I mean, wow, she's so beautiful. And what she does is part of what I do because I have this movement called Becoming the Best You, Overcoming Challenges. It's about you becoming the best version of yourself. And we kind of go by a nickname, BTBY. We do conferences, we have a little TV show. It is about people doing better, becoming better people, becoming a better friend, a better spouse, a better employee, a better employer, whatever it is, a better communicator, better at sales, whatever it is that you need to be better at. We transform your mindset. It is a movement, and we travel to different cities for this movement because we believe that people want to be the best versions of themselves. Are you the best version of yourself? I'm sure Tracy's going to talk to us a little bit about that as well, and what you can do spiritually, physically, and mentally to improve who you are. So today I have on this shirt and it says, Made for this comeback. So I want to talk a little bit about that while she's preparing to come back in. Do you really want to go back? Is what I want to ask you. Of course we want our health to come back. Of course we want our mindset to be like it was when we were younger, without the doubt and the fear and everything else that comes with that at a younger age when you don't have that experience. But do you really want to make a comeback, or do you want to come back into your purpose, come back into what your life is supposed to be like? What is it that you want to come back into? Because for me, I don't want to go back, but I do want to make a comeback in my purpose and in my passion and the drive that I have for things. So let me ask you this. Are you living in fear? How about doubt? How about low self esteem? Do you worry about what other people think, what their opinions are of you? Les Brown says what other people's opinion of you are don't really matter. It's none of your business because you can't control it. Do you worry about things that are outside of your control? I think we all kind of tend to. But what if you could shift your mind into thinking and acting differently? Because you see, when you change your mindset, that changes your actions and that changes your life. I'm Brenda Ringwood. I am called the Professor of Change for a reason. I believe that change is possible. Not only is it possible, it is obtainable. Not only is it obtainable, it is livable and it happens. It happens, but you got to really want it. Most successful people don't sleep their life away. They don't sit on the couch watching TV day in and day out. Because you see, when you sit on that couch, and I'm just using this as an analogy because I like movies. I watch my fair share of things. But when you sit on that couch, that TV in that room that you're sitting in becomes your priority. And then it becomes your life. And then when your friends are doing things, you kind of get jealous and you hate on them a little bit because you're not doing what they're doing. But you can. It's nobody's fault but your own. What if you could? What if you got up off that couch and you found out what your purpose is? What if you got up off of that couch and you start living your life again? I mean, truly living. There was a point in my life where I was worth a lot of money and I had very successful businesses and I had great people in my life. So I thought, because you see, when you have things that people covet, they tend to come around you in ways that people who are going to be your true friends, your true family, your true circle they come at you differently because they think you can do something for them, or they think that you can give them something, or they want to be part of what you have, which is fine. But don't let it be your reason for doing what you're doing. Find the people in your life that are a part of that inner circle that want to see you grow. They want to see you glow and they want to see you be successful. Well, welcome back, Tracy.
Thank you so much. I don't know what was going on here. Internet was shoddy, but we got it together here. I
It
shut down
happens.
my computer. Yeah, yeah, this is real life, everybody. This is how it happens. But I thank you, Brenda, for keeping the show going because you are a professional, and that's why we have you on here today because you are doing so many amazing things, and just wanted to be able to share what you have coming up with the audiences there if they are in the area or just looking to travel to the area and want to be fed. And I'll leave it like that until we get into the whole conversation. But everybody, she's got something amazing coming up, and all of her events have been amazing. I had the honor and privilege of speaking on her virtual event, which I was so amazed by all of the other speakers that you had there, and just got so much information and just so much motivation and inspiration from that particular event. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. So everybody out there, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Wanted to talk to you about that before we get into this with Brenda because she's got a lot to share and we've got a lot to show you. But just wanted to talk to you about that. I was looking in particular at a video today on Instagram where the woman was speaking about why do we call it Breast Cancer Awareness Month instead of saying Breast Health Awareness Month. And I really agree with that because we want people to not get to that cancer diagnosis. So we want to teach you how to be preventative and proactive so that you don't get to that point. And then we want to be able to support those who have already gotten a diagnosis to be able to come out of that, to live healthy, to move forward, to understand that it's not a death sentence, that they can change their life and live healthy and live cancer free. I am an example of that,
Mhm.
everybody. I had breast cancer back in 2013. So February of 2023 will be 10 years for me, but I changed my life. I focused on that health portion instead of that cancer portion so that I could change my life. And I had to change some things pretty drastically, but it's okay because I'm here and I'm able to sit before you and speak about it. And I changed my life completely as a result of it. Not only did I change what I did for myself, but look to help others to maintain a healthy lifestyle, but then also became a health coach because of it and am loving it and loving just this new part of my life. So I just wanted to mention that because the focus this month in October is breast cancer awareness, but we're going to focus on breast health all month on this particular show. So I also wanted to share with everybody an experience that I had yesterday that I was talking to Brenda about backstage. I had to take an Uber to go pick up my car from the auto body shop. And I met the most amazing Uber driver, just a faithful man. He was an older man, and we spoke. We spoke about God. We spoke about faith. We spoke about life. Just in this very short, it was about a 30-minute ride, but in that short ride, I had the most amazing experience, and I'm just grateful to God for the people that He puts before me in my life. I know that those things are for a reason and a purpose. And actually, it was the conversation that I needed in that moment because I was also going through a challenge with somebody in my life. So to just have that conversation with this individual, and just I love when people show up with so much love and so much light in their heart, and you can tell, you feel it when you meet certain people. You can tell how much love and light that they have, and they just want to exude that and give it to the world. So I definitely had that experience. So Mr. Larry, if you're out there and listening, just thank you so much for that ride yesterday. I really appreciated that. So, everybody, we have Brenda, and you've met the beautiful Brenda Ringwood here, but we want to talk about becoming the best you. So, I want to go back, Brenda. I want to go back and talk to you about, why becoming the best you? Like, how did you start this? When did this vision come up? And I know you've been doing so much with this. So, talk to us about how this all came about.
Well, I realize that people need help. and that it's even more important to ask for help. And if you don't have that help, you tend to stay stuck. And I was stuck, and my mindset was horrible. I was in a very dark place, and I had to really reevaluate where I was at and what needed to change in my life. And the things that came to mind were, you know what? You have experience, you have education, you have lived life, you know what you need to do. So what's stopping you? And I had to really change my mindset, and I had to change my actions. So if I can do it, other people can do it, but they need that help. And it's not about paying people for help, and it's not about um, how much money you make or whatever. It is about overcoming whatever it is that's holding you back. I can't hear you.
Here we go. I love how you took your own experiences and said, people need help, and recognizing some of the challenges that you were going through, and knowing that, well, if I can give, some hope and some inspiration to other people, there's people out there that need help. I love that you kind of turned it around, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
To make it about service to other people, even though you knew that you had your own challenges in life. Talk a little bit more about how that helps people, because you've been doing this for a while. Like when you
mhm.
start, yeah.
I started it realistically about 3 years ago. We didn't, because of COVID, we didn't have our first in-person event until
Mhm.
last February, but I just thought, it's okay. It's
Mhm.
okay to be where you are, and it's okay to want to do better. But then how do you get from
Mhm.
being where you are to doing better? So for me, I had to let time, just like you doing weights and eating and diet and exercise, yoga, whatever it is that you're doing, you're not going to get that result in one
Mhm.
day. It's going to take
That's right.
time to do it. And then I realized
That's
I
right.
can say it all I want. You can say it.
Right.
If you don't do it and your actions don't match
Mhm.
what you're saying, then who's gonna listen to you?
Mhm.
So I had to make
Yeah.
my actions match what was coming out of my mouth, and that also takes time
Mhm.
because I have to see the change
Yeah.
over time. So I had to work on myself first, and
Yeah.
I started that journey, in 2014.
Yeah, and I can so identify with that too, even just having breast cancer and having to change my habits. Like you said, it doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-mm.
And there were moments where I made mistakes, right? Or I ate something that I shouldn't have, or, I didn't get up to exercise before I really got into it. But it takes time for us to change habits, right? They say it takes 21 days to change a habit, right? So that's one thing about that. But then, to be able to change your mindset around
Mhm.
what you're doing and kind of release all of the old ways and the old way of thinking, more so than anything else, that's going to help you catapult. So I love what you're doing with becoming the best you, right? Because here's where it changes first. When you start to hear the speakers and what you're offering through becoming the best you, it helps to change up here first.
It
And
does.
that's the key, because
Yes.
if we don't change, right? So talk about that a little bit more too.
Well, your mind gets there before you get there. If you're gonna
Hmm.
go out to eat, you've already thought about going out to eat. If you're gonna go to the gym, you've
That's
already
right.
thought about going to the gym. If you're gonna go on vacation, you've already thought about going on vacation. So your mind gets there before you do. Unfortunately, our mind also
That's
stops you
right.
from getting there. So you have to train your brain. You have to rethink. You have to reprioritize, and you have to cut some stuff out. I mean,
Mhm.
that's bottom line. And when you get to thinking differently, the actions will follow. And that's the key. The
Yeah,
actions
yeah.
will follow.
And I love that you use the example about if you're going out to eat, you've already thought about what you're going to
Mhm,
eat. And it may sound so simple, but it's so true, right? We do that all the time.
mhm.
So when it comes to, something else, something that you want to accomplish in life or something that you want to change, it's really the same thing. So I love that example, right? Because we focus a lot on food, and particularly in the United States. We think a lot about
Too
what we're
much
going
on
to
food,
eat.
yes, including myself. Yes.
Right,
It
right,
tends to be our
right.
go-to.
So
Mhm.
well, I have to attest to that. I'm a big foodie and love eating out. So we think a lot about about that, right? So, but I love that example because it just kind of puts it in those simple terms, but makes you think about, wow, if I could do that, if I could put so much focus on that, why can't I put the focus on whatever else it is that I need to accomplish for my life? So I love that you said that. So I want to show some videos. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to show some videos of the Becoming the Best You conference that's coming up, and I'm going to show Jeremy Nunes first, just because I thought that was absolutely hilarious. It's so funny. So let me share my screen, everybody, and we are going to take a look at some of the videos for the Becoming the Best You conference. Can you see that, Brenda?
Not yet.
Okay, let me just go back. Let's see here. All right, there we
There we
go.
go.
All right, all right. So I'm going to go in there and let's take a look, everybody.
Hey friends, I want to tell you about an amazing conference you have to be a part of. It's called Becoming the Best You, hashtag BTBY, and it's going to be in the St. Louis area. Whether you can be in St. Louis or not, you can attend virtually. Of course, it would be awesome if you're there, but if you can't be, you can attend virtually. You can learn more at comechangeyourlife.com. The event is October 21 through 23 in St. Louis.
Did you forget our anniversary?
I did not forget our anniversary. When is it?
October 23.
Okay, the conference ends October 23, friends, like I was saying, which apparently happens to be my anniversary. Again, the conference starts October 21 in St. Louis.
Did you forget your son's birthday?
I did not forget my son's birthday. When is that?
October 21.
Okay, the conference starts October 21, which happens to be my son's birthday as well. So I'm telling you all, I'm going to be in a bit of hot water when I get back home. So please join us in St. Louis, physically or virtually. It's going to be a great time. I've attended these before. It changed my life, and I'm telling you, it's going to change yours too. It's comechangeyourlife.com to learn more about becoming the best you. I'm just a lowly comedian that's going to be performing Saturday night, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time for that. But all the dozens and dozens of amazing speakers will change your life. Comechangeyourlife.com, October 21 through 23, St. Louis. Virtual or physical, you can join either way. Who's with me?
I absolutely love that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for one moment.
Yes, he is amazing, and it's clean comedy, so you don't have to worry about, anything being inappropriate, and it's funny. It's really hard to find fun, clean comedy.
Yeah, yeah. So in light of that, right, tell us a little bit about what to expect, because I like that you're incorporating the comedy with it. I just thought that was it was just so good.
Well, laughter is healing, and it also drives away darkness.
Mhm.
And sometimes we need to just take a break and enjoy. So we do a black tie event on Saturday night. And I actually get some grief about this, that people say, just do away with the black tie. Maybe you'll get it's more expensive. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't cost any more. And
Mhm.
you have fun because we're celebrating you. And then I have some that say,
Yeah.
I only come because of the black tie. It is that much fun. So it's a personal
Wow.
preference, but you can attend
Mhm.
any part of the conference. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But yeah, come on out
Right.
and get dressed up. And you don't have to go fancy smancy. I got a dress at TJ Maxx for $40,
Yeah.
$39. It's kind of plain Jane. I'm going to dress it up with some jewelry and whatever else that goes with that. Guys can wear a suit. You don't have to do a tuxedo.
Yeah, yeah. But I love when you present the black tie, right? Because
Mhm.
you just don't find that much anymore at all. And sometimes people want to get dressed up, and
Yeah,
you just feel better, right? When you're
you
dressed up and
do.
you feel appreciated, especially coming to an event like this, you
Mhm.
feel special. So I love that you have that incorporated in there. And then the other part, and I love that you took it to that place, which I knew you would, when you said laughter is healing, right? Because you realize that, people are coming there to be fed for something that's happening in their life. for
Mhm.
some particular reason. People are identifying with this because there's a reason in their life. So to be able to give them some laughter and help them release and
Mhm.
heal, and feel good and raise those, endorphins, right? Like that's just it's just amazing because it changes the mood, it changes
Changes
the
the mindset.
attitude. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I love that you incorporate that there as well. So I'm going to share again because I want to show some more of this, and I love how you do things too because the promos that you're putting out consistently and just keeping this at the forefront of everybody's mind. I love these promo videos. So let's show another one here as well. So here we go, everybody.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror and he is no friend to me. It's not working out, baby. It's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Mind over everything, everybody.
Mhm.
And you can see here like all of the highlighted speakers, but I love the pictures.
We have more speakers than that. It's just hard to play them all.
Yeah, yeah. I also love just all the pictures incorporated to just show the past events and all the
It was an
smiles.
amazing time.
So I'm gonna pause it here for 1 second because I just want to talk to you about even what people can expect from some of those speakers there that we've seen on the screen.
There is a plethora it's an arsenal of speakers because there's nothing worse than coming to an event and then the speaker speaks and then they leave. You don't get to see them. You don't get to
Mhm.
experience them. So we don't even call this an event anymore. It is a conference, but it is
Mhm.
an experience. These speakers stay around. I mean, there's some that have to come and go because they've already had other commitments, but the
Mhm.
ones that didn't stay around. So in your ticket for 3 days, you get some coaching too. You can go off to the side and you can pull them aside and just kind of open yourself up and see what they think. They're there for
Yeah.
you. People don't understand that you need people. You
Mhm.
think you could do everything by yourself. So, I want to talk about Prince Michael. He's coming. He's spoken on all of our virtuals. He was there in February and he was homeless to homeowner. I mean, what kind of
Yeah.
a story is that? Who does
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Best-selling author, just doing great things in life. Then we have Dean Storer, who graduated high school with a third grade reading level. He is
Mhm.
now an author of several books. He's a coach. He's been doing this for over 20 years, and he does financial coaching as well. So he calls
Mhm.
himself Professor Mindshift because he had to say, I am good enough. I
Yeah.
can do this. Then we have Sakoni Prince, and he's actually the one that did that video for us. He reintroduces you to yourself because sometimes we don't know who we are.
Mhm. Mhm.
Reintroduces you to yourself. And then on and on, we have Dr. Lotus Roche, who is a global strategy person. She loves to help people out. Then we have Ruben West, who is from Topeka, Kansas, lives in Illinois somewhere, but he's
Mhm.
always traveling the world. He's part of I Change Nations. He does uh, all this growth in other countries. He's over in Kenya a lot, helping that
Mhm.
community, giving back. And he
And
was a big, what's that?
he's built a school out there too, right?
He's
And
doing a
out in
lot,
Kenya?
yes, yes. He is part of my reasoning behind this because he gave me a chance when I
Mhm.
needed that chance, and
Wow.
not even just a chance, he listened. He took the time out to visit with me,
Mhm.
and got me on a stage. So, although I have been a speaker for decades,
Mhm.
we all go through our lows and our valleys and our high points and our good points and our bad points, but you still have to realize you have your experience, you have that education, you can still do what you know how to do. Uh,
Yeah.
so he's speaking. Man, just the list just goes on
Yeah.
and on. We have Kevin Wilson. He was in that picture. He's a self-made millionaire.
Mhm.
He's going to talk to you about his strategies. We have some network marketing people who are
Mhm.
making lots of money doing
Mhm.
network marketing because they're treating it like a business, not a side hustle. And see, a lot of us tend to treat what we really want to do in life as our side hustle while
Yeah.
we're going to the job that we actually hate in life every day.
Yeah.
So our mindset and these speakers are going to shift gears to allow you to do that. And I use the analogy of, I had a huge home on a lot of acreage, and it was, yeah, my kids had their own, I had a lot of kids, had their
Mhm.
own bedrooms, had their own bathrooms. It was huge.
Mhm.
I also had a huge mortgage payment.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the first thing I tell people is look at the money that you're spending and what you're living around you, and
Mhm.
take that $4,000 a month mortgage payment and downsize to $1,000 a month. You still got the same income. Now you got 3 grand to go out there to start investing in yourself to do
Yeah.
the business that you want to do. Sometimes you have to downsize, and
Yeah.
sometimes you have to downsize your thoughts too. And I'm not saying not go after your dreams, but sometimes you have to downsize things so they can be obtainable, and then you can upsize them as you go.
Yeah.
So
And break
the teachers are gonna speak about that.
Yeah, and break them into chunks. I remember reading this book called The Practicing Mind, and it talks
Mhm.
about, okay, the destination is there, and that's fine, but love the journey along the way, because that's where the real growth is, right?
That's
And
right.
that's where the real change starts to happen. But from everything that you're describing, I know some of these speakers, of course, I absolutely love Prince Michael. That is my little brother from another mother. Love him, and I know he's so inspiring
Mhm.
when he speaks. But I have had the opportunity to meet Dr. Lotus Roche as well, and she's a phenomenal person. So can't
Mhm.
wait to hear her. And then Dr. Ruben West, I've heard him speak as well, just awesome. So I know what people are going to be fed here, and I've had the opportunity to hear some of the other speakers on the virtual. I know what you're going to get here, and I love that you're mixing it up, that you're
Mhm.
giving people a little bit of everything from the mindset shift to strategies on changing finances to how to run business to so I mean you're getting a little bit of everything that you need right here at one conference, everybody. So midpoint here, I want to be able to show the website as well so that people know where they can go to grab their tickets. And the beauty of this is if you can't go out to St. Louis, Missouri, everybody, you can also grab a virtual ticket as well for this conference. So you decide if you want to travel and you want to see, if you've never been to St. Louis and you want to see St. Louis, go to St. Louis, or you just feel like traveling, go to St. Louis. And if not, if you absolutely cannot make it, then get your virtual ticket. It is at www.comechangeyourlife.com. How could you even forget that website, right? Come change your life. Who doesn't want to change their life? And life goes in stages, right? So I always want to change my life. I don't know about everybody out there, but if you can attest to it, I am always looking to change my life for the better, to grow each and every day. So this is an opportunity for you to be fed and be able to do that in whatever area of your life needs to be nourished. So I want to ask you too, Brenda, what have you heard from people that have attended prior events?
Wow.
Prior, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's not even what I've heard, is what I've witnessed. See,
Mm,
there's true change, and a lot of people in the Kansas City area where we did our last one are still part of our movement, and they give testimony after testimony about restructuring your mindset.
mhm,
And they've put the practices into place that they learned at this
mhm,
event. Not only did they put the practices into place, they still have access to those people. So they can
mhm,
pick up the phone and call those speakers and network with everybody that was there and still get the continuing benefits of this experience that's coming up in St. Louis. But from February, I have seen growth. Isabel Black became my TV show co-host with Becoming the Best You TV show, where we travel the
mhm,
country doing stories of just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And her growth from that conference has just been phenomenal. She didn't even know things like that existed. So she was
mhm,
going to, and I had only met her maybe a month and a half prior to that.
mhm,
Heather Davis, she's just finally beautiful woman, has a career, has her own business. You would think that things looked great looking in, of which she's a wonderful person, so they were, but she wasn't doing what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
This event helped that. And there's story after story after story of
Yeah.
people letting their mindset go to a better place.
Yeah. And I love this too, because when you're seeking and you're looking for more of that motivation, information, you have the people that are considered the big speakers, right? The Tony
Mhm.
Robbins, the Les Browns, but they're not, you can't reach out and touch them, right? So much. You can go to an event, and don't get me wrong, you're going to get fed, you're going to be blessed by their events, but you can't reach out and touch them. So when you're speaking about, coming to becoming the best you and being able to actually go and speak to the speakers and get more information and be able to learn more from them and connect with them in a real way and be able to connect with them even after the event is over, that is huge, right? Because I found when I started this journey, so when I was in corporate America, I didn't really identify with what was happening. Of course, I knew about Tony Robbins and Les Brown, and I'm just using them as an example, everybody. There's a lot of great people out there. But of course, I knew about those too. So I started watching, but it didn't completely resonate with me when I was still in corporate America. So, and though I got a lot from them, a lot of great nuggets, I didn't really know how to apply it all, to be honest with you. But when I started doing things like this, and I joined a program myself, but started doing things like this, that's when it started to resonate because it was real, it was tangible for me,
Right.
more so than listening to some of the people that, have a much larger stage, because I didn't really get that kind of personal touch to it. So I like that, this gives that personal touch. Is very intentional about making sure that people can actually connect with other people so that they really can change their life. So just wanted to mention that as well. I'm going to put the dates up here for everybody as well. You'll see that when you go to the website, but it's October 21st to October 23rd. So what would you say, like the biggest thing that you've seen out of, doing this for the past 3 years?
The biggest thing is that change is possible. It can happen.
Yeah.
The problem with that is you have to want it. So, see, if you don't want it, it's not gonna happen,
Hmm.
and it's just like losing weight, you have to wanna lose weight.
Hmm.
You can say it, and you might really want to, and you might wanna look better, but if you really wanted it, you would do it.
Yeah.
If you really wanted a change in your life, you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna put the things in place that need to help you get on those steps to getting up to where you need to be. And again, if you don't need change, then this is not the place for you.
Yeah.
This isn't.
And if you don't need change, I would say, you have to do with what you mentioned. One of the speakers focuses on is knowing yourself,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because the world is changing around us, so everybody needs change. It's you know what I mean. So if you feel like you don't need change, then I implore you to just examine, who you are and what's happening in your life, because everything changes. Everything
It
changes
does,
on
and that's why my tag name, I am called the Professor of Change, and I
I love
call myself that because I can teach you how to do that. I'm not a coach, I don't do any
it.
coaching,
Hmm.
but our events and our movement can teach you that, and it can get you in connection with people who do, and that's part of what we do. We get you connected.
Yeah.
It's also a networking event. I mean, networking, and believe it or not, I hate networking. I
Mhm.
really do. It is not what I like to do, but it's necessary and
Yeah,
it's needed, and then once I get there, I'm okay. It's
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
like I could roll over and not go to church today. It's my day off. But then when you get there, you're so glad you went. So networking
Mhm.
is like that. These events are like that.
Yeah.
But I have to remember that it's like that. So the next time I say I don't want to do that, I remember why it is that I need to do that.
Yeah. And it's connection, right? Like that's how I think about it instead of the networking, because networking just sounds like, oh, I gotta focus on what business or networking for some particular reason. But if you feel like, just like that, my experience with the Uber driver yesterday, it was just
Yes.
connection. And that's what you get from these events, that connection, especially if you're operating in purpose, number one, right? And you are just a heart-centered person, right? You're going to get the connections that you need to be able to continue to do what you need to do in your life. So if you think about it that way, everybody, you're not coming out to network, you're coming out to connect with
That's
beautiful
right.
people that can help change your life, like the professor of change here. So I want to continue that one video. Let's continue to show that, because there's just a lot more on that video. I think we had gotten halfway through that one in particular, so just want to continue to show that one there. So let's do it, everybody. Here we go.
No, I'm never turning back. I won't stop. I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so hard. You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna get your wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. It breaks after math. When I hate, I attack.
So, I spell the word unstoppable different from everybody else. The capital U, the N, the capital S, T-O-P, and the capital A-B-L-E, because I figure whatever you're able to do, that's what's going to make you unstoppable. Zach took it to a whole nother level, because he noticed that I also capitalized the U and the S. And when you take that U and that S and you add it to able, you're not only able, you're usable. Somebody's going to get that. You are usable. When you allow yourself to be usable, and you allow yourself to be unstoppable. Thank you, Zach, for downloading that into me. Man, wherever you are in the world today, don't just make it a great day. Recognize that you are usable and make it an unstoppable day.
I absolutely love it. I love the music too on that particular video. But I wanted to point out something else too that I wanted you to talk about. The fact that so many people come back event after event.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I've noticed, for the time period that I've known you and just been watching, I see a lot of the same people continuing to come back. So even talk about that community that you're building here. Because that's super significant.
It is, and that is the reason why we do what we do right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is our core, our community. Our speakers come back because they learn something. Our speakers come back because they believe in what we're doing, but our people keep coming back. And our people keep coming back because they need the change. They've witnessed the change. They've experienced the change. They're living the change, and they want to keep changing. So they stay involved. It is a movement.
Yeah.
And our speakers get to make all these connections as well. So it's win-win for everybody. Our speakers are part of our community, and they all dive in. They all help out. They all have a value to add to every single second that this platform is on the air.
Yeah, I love that. So talk about some of those pictures. I saw the clown noses there. Talk about what was happening there.
We had Patch Adams come, and he believes in never having a bad day in your life. And he'll tell you that things do happen that are bad, but is our response. It's what we do with it, our actions that create the outcome of it being a bad day.
Yeah.
So you can make it worse. You can grow your own problems by how you respond. So he was there, and we usually have some type of a celebrity type status. We actually have the St. Louis Cardinals mascot coming in this time.
Very nice.
Coming on Sunday. Yeah, we have Jeff Anderson, who is a musician, big down in the South. And also then we have Diamonds and Whiskey, which is a huge band. Huge band. She's coming on Friday night to share her story, and then her band is performing at the Black Tie. So we have people who are living the dream, coming to tell you how to live the dream. And see, for me, I was living that dream. I thought I was. I thought I was doing everything that the world expected from me and what my family wanted me to be, the house I was supposed to live in, the cars I was supposed to be driving.
Yeah.
None of that matters.
That so resonates with me, because when I was in corporate America, I was doing the same thing, living the dream, right?
The dream sucks.
Yeah, it sure does. Making some really great money, right? Doing the same thing in the house, had the cars, right? But didn't really mean that much to me.
Mm-mm.
And in the long run, I was miserable. And I kept
Yes.
saying, I need a break. I need a break. I need a break. And that break came in the form of breast cancer. And people think I'm crazy when I say that was the best thing that ever happened to me because it woke me up instead of going on that wheel of expectation round and around
Right.
after
Right.
day. Right. So um, I love Patch Adams' motto, not to have a bad day. And I love that he talks about the response, right? Because that's the key to making a change. It is the response. We can't control what's happening around us. We can only control what's happening within us.
That's right.
So the response is so key. And I've been sharing this particular story probably week after week, but as I'm speaking to all of the guests, like all of this still comes up. I had a person come to me and say, I at work, they had this issue at work, and the person came up to them and started screaming and was telling them that they're always in the way. And, they said normally their response would be to lash back out. But
Mhm.
what they said to the person was, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. Please let me know how I can help you. And the person stormed off angry, came back an hour later and said they needed help. So it was something that that person was going through. And because the response was the way it was, the person was able to come back, think about it, come
Mhm.
back and ask for the help. So imagine if that the other person lashed out, also it would have been turmoil, right? But because they
Nothing
chose
would have been accomplished but hatred.
exactly. So
Mhm.
then once the person came back, had the opportunity to fix whatever needed to be fixed at the job. So they got more productivity done at work. And now they're building a relationship because of it as well.
Mhm.
Right. And everything is good now because two people are in this space where they can
Right.
be well together.
Right.
Yeah.
People think, "Oh, I don't have a relationship with that person." You
Mhm.
you always have unless you just don't know them, you have a relationship. It's
Yeah.
either great,
Yeah.
it's just there, or
Hmm.
it's even a bad relationship.
Hmm.
So, what part of that do you want to encompass into your relationships? Do you
Yeah.
wanna just have an okay relationship with people, or do you wanna have a great relationship with people? And I I had to realize that the hard way. So, for me, when I was trying to make amends with people, especially doing a movement about becoming the best you, I went to everybody that I had wronged.
Yeah.
And even if I thought they thought that I had wronged them, I still went to them. And some of them wouldn't have anything to do with me. Some
Mhm.
of them we picked right back up where we left off, and some we just moved forward and everything's fine. But I
Mhm.
had to go back and face things that I had caused in the
Mhm.
drama and the hurt and the harm,
Mhm.
uh, not only for them, because I owed them that
Mhm.
apology, I owed them that was just due to them,
Mhm.
but I also had to forgive and forgive myself. I
Mhm.
had to forgive others that had harmed me, and, a lot of people think, "Well, they didn't ask for forgiveness." They don't have to. That
Yeah.
forgiveness is for you
Yeah.
for anybody else. So, I was able to ask them for their forgiveness. Some of them did. Some of them just kind of looked at me like I was crazy, but my
Mhm.
door is always open for
Yeah.
them to have that
Mhm.
conversation, and that was healing.
Yeah.
It was healing. So, the 12-step process, for AA or NA, one of the things is to make amends, and there's truth to that.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
might not be able to make it right, and you might not be able to give them back whatever it is that was lost in that, but you have the chance to at least try to make amends. There's
Yeah.
a big difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes such a big difference. And it is more for you. But at the same time, even if they don't accept it or seem like they're accepting it, there's a lot that that other person is going to get from that too. It
That's true.
definitely makes a
Mhm.
difference. My dad was an alcoholic and did a lot of damage early on in life to my mom. And before he passed away, he went to my mom and he apologized for everything. I mean, the deep, really
Mhm.
heartfelt apology. He really meant it. And it made a world of difference,
Yeah, and
honestly.
there's a difference between saying it and meaning it.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
that conviction that you truly are sorry is the
Yeah.
key.
Yeah, I have a friend too who went through the program and started to, and he wanted to make things better for him and his wife and his family. And, had gone to, the people in his life to just apologize. And, the change in him after he did
Yeah.
that. It was huge. It was a big difference and a
Well,
big
it lifts
change.
the weight off so you can
Yeah,
now continue. You're not living with, trying to carry around all that doom and gloom because it's unhealthy.
yeah, yeah,
It's very
yeah,
unhealthy.
absolutely. Abs- Absolutely. So, talk to us a little bit more before we close the show, a little bit more about what to expect from the Becoming the Best You conference or movement or experience.
It's all of the above, and you know what I tell people? Grow with us or watch us grow, because either way we're
Mhm,
growing, and we're growing in the direction of
mhm,
change, and we're growing in the
mhm,
season of change and the lifetime of change.
mhm,
Because I don't
mhm.
I don't like to tell people that I'm better than anybody else, but I am better than one person that I used to be, and that was me yesterday. It was
Yeah,
me a year ago. It was me
yeah,
10 years ago. I'm not that person anymore. And I was at an event where a speaker talked about she had an address change. I have an address change. I don't live there anymore. I don't live in my past anymore, but I can use that past to get me through what's coming and the new challenges, and take that experience and that education that I learned from it to two things: not repeat it, and to make things better. So that's what
yeah,
BTBY is
yeah,
about. And, if you communication is key. So let's say you've got a great job and you're happy on that, and you've got a really good relationship with your family. You don't really need a whole lot of change there. Something sometime down the road is going to happen, and you're going to need to know how to communicate your way through it. And if you
mhm,
can't communicate your way through it, you're going to be spiraling back down.
yeah,
And that's when things are going to go awry, because job loss happens, friendship loss happens, relationship separation happens, divorces happen, sometimes by no
yeah,
fault of your own. Death happens, illness
yeah,
happens. And when those things come into your life that are not within things that you can control, you need to know how to communicate yourself through it. And when I say communicate yourself,
yeah,
you have to communicate with yourself on how to think
mhm,
to change what's going to happen. And then you have to be able to communicate through others through it. So communication is a big deal. And that's what we teach you at
yeah.
these conferences.
Yeah. And I love that you said with yourself, because
Mhm,
that's where it starts, everybody. So, make sure that you know how to communicate with yourself first so that you can communicate well with others,
mhm.
because it all starts within.
Yes.
I can remember when my dad passed away, I was angry with him for some of the things that were done in the past. And I actually had to heal with him after death versus live and in person. But I learned how to communicate with myself and with him, even through.
Mhm. Oh, she froze up again. Don't know if it's her or me, but yes, communication is there she is. You froze
Yeah,
up a little bit.
yeah, yeah. The connection's still going awry here, I guess. But just allowing, your past and your pain to be your platform. I know
Mhm.
on the virtual, I heard Dave Power talks, and he has this pain is power. But I've always learned to also let your pain be your platform. So, you know, everybody,
And
you
let me
can.
tell you, he's got an amazing story. He does a great job. He's got a coaching slash speaking platform that he does, and he trains people to do what he does, and he's just amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And that's some of what you will get and see at the Becoming the Best You conference, everybody. So we're going to put this you see the website, it's been scrolling here on the ticker. So you want to make sure that you go to comechangeyourlife.com and get your tickets, either live or virtual. You want to make sure that you are in the room or on the screen, checking everything out, being fed. I would say come with your notebook and your pen, whether you're live or
Mhm.
virtual, so that you can write down. Writing is so key when you are in these particular spaces. When you want to get change, you want to make sure that you are writing things down too.
You
Things
do.
that,
They say note takers are money makers, and note
yes,
takers are change makers.
yes, yes. So you want to make sure that you are doing that. So grab your paper and your pen and make sure that you are in the building or on the screen, and you are being fed, and you're listening and getting everything that you need. And I would say, even if you're in the room, make sure that you engage with people during the breaks, in between speakers. Go up, talk to people. If there's something that resonates with you in your life, make sure that you get in front of the people that you need to get in front of, because this is the place where you can actually do that. And if you are watching virtually, I would say make sure that you connect with Brenda, either through the website, comechangeyourlife.com, or follow her on social media, and make sure that you're connecting as well so that you can continue to be fed and follow Becoming the Best You, to get what you need to do to actually change your life. Okay, so it is October 21st to the 23rd, and I just want to put that back up there. You will see that on the website. It's in St. Louis, Missouri, everybody. Make sure that you go out and grab your tickets and be in the room or on the screen. All right, so I just wanted to share that. The ticker is going to continue as we continue the show. We are about to close it out. So closing words, Brenda, for everybody out there.
Change your mindset, change your actions,
Yeah,
and change your life. That's
I
really
love
what
it.
it's about.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And in that order. Right? So, everybody, this has been another episode of The Whole Living Show. Make sure, again, that you go out, that you get your tickets for Becoming the Best You. And we are going to close out the show. We thank you for being here. Come back next week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Whole Living Show. We appreciate you all, and take care, everybody. Thank you so much, Brenda. Stay backstage, and we are out. Thank you.